Next, we will be performing the Tadvachamanam, the ritualistic cleansing. Now, take your Panchapatram and a dharni of water. Panchapatram and a dharni, a cup with a spoon with some water. Now, keep your right hand in the Gokarna Mudra, the shape of a cow's ear, as you take an dharni of water and pour it into your right palm. We are going to chant a mantra thrice. Each time the word Swadha is chanted, sip the water from the bottom of your palm.
Om Atmatattvam Shodhayami Swadha. Om Vidyatattvam Shodhayami Swadha.
Hand again. With index, middle and ring finger together, touch above the upper lip and below the lower lip. Then wash your hand again. With the index finger and thumb joined together, touch the right nostril and the left nostril. With the ring finger and thumb, touch the right eye, right ear and left ear. Wash your hand again. With the little finger and thumb joined together, touch your navel, your right chest and your left chest. And with all the fingertips joined together, touch the crown of your head, the right shoulder, the left shoulder and your heart center. Now wash your hand again. Place the right hand over top of the left and place both hands on top of the right thigh. Then set the Sankalpa, the conscious resolution, what you want to manifest through today's Nithyananda yoga session as we chant the Sankalpa mantra.
Om Mamopatta Samasta Duritakshaya Dwara Bhagavat Shri Nithyananda Paramashiva Prityartham Shri Nithyanandeshwari Paramashiva Shakti Sameta Shri Nithyanandeshwara Paramashiva Prityartham Cha Adya Purvokta Evam Guna Visheshena Vishisthayam Hasyam Shubhatithau Purana Arogya Yukta Dridagatra Yogika Sharira Siddhyartham Paramashiva Shaktya Vishkaranartham Nithyananda Yoga Abhyasam Karishye.
Wash your hand once more.
Now
take Panchapatram and Udani aside, so we can safely start into the yoga practice. With the first asana, which is Sukhasana. Now sit in a comfortable cross-legged position with your head, neck and spine in a straight line. Place your hands in Bindu Mudra with thumb and index finger touching on top of the respective knees. Engage all three bandhas, the energy locks, which are the Mula Bandha, the root lock, contracting the perineal region and pulling it up. The Uddiyana Bandha, the stomach lock, contracting your muscles above and below the navel and pulling the abdomen in and up towards the spine. And the Jalandhara Bandha, the throat lock, tucking your chin to the chest and internally locking the throat muscles. Together they form Mahamudra Bandha. So when we call out Mahamudra Bandha, engage all three bandhas. Now visualize Paramashiva in your inner space as you perform the Samana Kumbhaka, filling your stomach with prana, inhaling deeply and keeping the prana in the stomach region, while holding the breath and visualizing a flame rising up your spine. Internally chant the japa Soham. Visualize the mantra rotating around your throat in a circular motion. Let us now perform the first asana, Sukhasana.
Tat Sukhasanam ityuktam ashaktas tat samacharet.
The next asana is Parvatasana. Now bring your legs into Padmasana, placing the feet on top of the opposite thighs. Then join your hands together in Anjali Mudra and raise them up above your head. Keep your elbows straight, engage all three bandhas and visualize yourself as Mount Kailash.
Athavakshe Mahadeva Parvatasana Mangalam.
Next up is Halipavasana. Now bring the soles of the feet together in front of your body, interlace your fingers behind your back, and lean forward and down, placing your forehead on the ground behind the heels. Engage all three bandhas, gaze to your nose, and visualize Swamiji in your inner space.
Purava Viziyahu me jano ubhai pagatali samputthano.
Next up is Nagipavasana. Now extend the feet away from the body. Cup your palms and place them down in front of the feet as you place your forehead on the ground behind the heels. Gaze to the nose, engage all the bandhas and visualize yourself as a snake.
पूरव विधि परियागाने नीचौ वीकहु निफनास्यो लगाई.
The next asana is KAILASA. Now hold onto the big toes of the feet in prana mudra with index and middle fingers. Then stretch your legs straight up and out as you then cross your legs into Padmasana and lean forward and down onto your elbows, still holding onto the big toes as you engage all the bandhas and visualize yourself as a bird.
हठान्यदासनं वक्षे येन सिद्धो भवे नरः.
Next up is Nithyananda. Now seg your knees over the ankles and hold on to the opposite elbows. Then start rotating your arms in a circle as you gaze to the tip of your nose. Engage all the bandhas and visualize Swamiji in your inner space. After some time, change the direction of the movement.
घोड़ा बावा पादगी आशमाहिली सोज तत्सजर गोवार लवता परिगुल्भ समोज.
Next up is Gajasana, the elephant posture. Now place your hands on the ground shoulder width apart and raise your hips up high. Then scoop your body forward and down again and again while visualizing yourself as an elephant as you engage Uddiyana Bandha, the stomach lock, and Mula Bandha, the root lock.
निब्जं पादाग्रे भूमौ कृत्वा लम्बी भूया मस्तकाग्रे निधाय.
Next up is Vrikshasana. From Gajasana, press one heel into the ground alternatingly. As you visualize yourself as a bear, engage Uddiyana Bandha and Mula Bandha.
एकैकं पादमाकुञ्च गजासनं कुर्यात् वृक्षासनं भवति.
Next up is Vaishyasana. Now raise up. Stand on the big toes with the other toes rest off the ground if you can. And keep your hands in Hridaya Mudra with index, middle and ring finger touching your chest. As you visualize Swamiji in your inner space, perform Uddiyana Bandha and Mula Bandha.
शेन पादयुगलं बद्ध्वा तिष्ठेद अधोमुखः.
Next up is the Urdhva Janukarana. Now stand in Arimandi position with the heels touching, toes pointing outwards and the knees bent. Then place your hands at the chest and raise one knee up towards the center of your body. Follow along with the respective hand in a circular motion. Repeat this movement on both sides again and again. Next up is Balalingasana. Now interlace your fingers from the outside in Sarva Shankari Mudra. Hold onto one knee and pull it up towards your chest. As you keep your spine straight, engage all three bandhas and visualize yourself holding a baby.
अनुवसि आलिङ्ग्य स्थातव्यं बाललिङ्गनं भवति.
The next asana is Padapidanasana. Now hold onto one foot and pull it behind towards your buttocks. Hold it with both hands. Be straight, engage all three bandhas and visualize Swamiji in your inner space.
स्थित्वैकस्मिन् पादतले कराभ्यां वेष्टयेत्तनुम्.
The next asana is Natarajasana. Now hold onto the sole of the foot from the inside as you extend the other arm forward with a hand in Bindu Mudra with index finger and thumb touching. Lean forward, kick the back foot back and up as you visualize yourself as Lord Nataraja. Perform the Mula Bandha.
तानपादं क्रौञ्चं च भरीचिं वीरभद्रकम्.
Now stand on the other foot as you repeat Balalingasana on the other side. Pull the knee up towards the chest and visualize yourself holding a baby.
एकं जानुरसि आलिङ्ग्य स्थातव्यं बाललिङ्गनं भवति.
Pull the other foot behind towards your buttocks and hold it with both hands with fingers interlaced in Parusha Mudra. Repeat Padapidanasana on the other side.
स्थित्वैकस्मिन् पादतले कराभ्यां वेष्टयेत्तनुम्.
Next up is Natarajasana on the other side. Hold the other foot, lean forward, extend the opposite arm, hand in Bindu Mudra, visualizing yourself as Lord Nataraja.
उत्तानपादं क्रौञ्चं च मरीचिं वीरभद्रकम्.
Next up is the Ardhare Chittakarana. Stand in Adimandi, heels touching, toes pointing outwards and knees bent. Then keep the left hand at the chest and swing the right arm back and forth like a pendulum. Gracefully move the arm back and forth as you cover your nose with the hand, uncross your ankles and repeat the movement on the other side. Next up is the skeleton dance. Now visualize yourself as a skeleton as you shake your body intensely. Hold the visualization of your bone structure and dance wildly. This will bring integrity to your very bone marrow. Relax. Next up is the Katichinakarana. From Adimandi position, heels together, toes pointing outwards, knees bent. Cross your arms above your head with the palms facing backwards. Now open your hips to one side and open your arms wide. Return to the center, open to the other side and repeat this movement on both sides again and again. The next asana is Tadasana. Now stand tall on the tips of the big toes as you raise your arms above your head. Engage all three bandhas as you visualize yourself as a palm tree and internally chant the new japa Shivoham.
महामुद्राबद्धकोनो ताड़ासन विभेदकान्.
Now lean forward and down, placing your hands flat on the ground. As you bring your head towards the knees, engage all three bandhas and visualize Swamiji in your inner space in Uttanasana.
महामुद्राबद्धकोनो ताड़ासन विभेदकान्.
The next asana is Tadakshvasana. Now keep your hands flat on the ground, shoulder width apart. Step your feet back into a plank position. Contract the perineal region, tuck your chin to the chest and start rotating your head from left to right as you visualize Swamiji in your inner space.
गजासनवस्थित्वा मस्तकं वारं वारं दक्षिणकुक्षिं सव्यकुक्षिं नयेत्.
Now lower your body down onto your stomach as you keep your hands at the chest level, the toes pointing backwards. Open your mouth wide and lift your head up using the strength of your lower back. Don't lift your body any higher than your belly button off the mat. Inhale through the hollow of your throat in Bhujangani Mudra as you visualize yourself as a cobra and perform the Mula Bandha in Bhujangasana.
अंगुष्ठनाभिपर्यन्तम् अधो भूमौ विनिन्यसेत्.
The next asana is Shashasana. Now push your body back up into the plank position and alternate bringing one knee in towards the chest back and forth as you visualize Swamiji and calmly breathe through your nose in Sahadra Kumbhaka, leading the prana along your spine, holding it on and off. Be in control of your breath as you perform the Mula Bandha.
गजासन संस्थितो जानुद्वयमाकुञ्च्य वारं वारं कर्तव्यं शशासनं भवति.
Next up is Rathasana. From the same plank position, step one foot in between the two hands, then jump the foot back, exchange the position of your feet again and again as you visualize yourself as a chariot. Perform the Mula Bandha.
गजासन संस्थितो एकैकं पादं पूर्वमार्गेण भ्रामयित्वा कर्तव्यं रथासनं भवति.
Now raise up into Viravatasana as you keep one foot flat on the ground with the toes pointing forwards and the knee bent at a 90-degree angle. Keep the back leg straight with the toes pointing outward. and raise your arms up parallel above your head as you gaze to your third eye. Engage Uddiyana Bandha, the stomach lock, and Mula Bandha, the root lock, as you visualize yourself as Lord Veerabhadra.
वासिष्ठमथ कौण्डिन्यम् ऊर्ध्वकुक्कुटमेव च.
Now exchange the position of your feet. Repeat Veerabhadrasana on the other side.
वासिष्ठमथ कौण्डिन्यम् ऊर्ध्वकुक्कुटमेव च.
The next asana is Vrikshasana. Now stand tall on one leg as you bring the other leg towards the inner thigh. Join your hands together in Anjali Mudra and raise your arms up above your head, keeping the elbows straight as you perform Uddiyana Bandha and Mula Bandha and visualize yourself as a tree.
वामोर्मूलदेशे च याम्यं पादं निधायतु.
The next asana is Garudasana. With the hands joined together in Namaskara Mudra in front of your heart center, keep the raised foot at the opposite hip and visualize yourself as Lord Garuda. Breathe calmly through your nose and don't forget to internally chant the japa Shivoham.
गरुडासनमावक्षे येन ध्यानं स्थिरं भवेत्.
Now stand on the other leg. Bring the other foot towards the inner thigh as you repeat Vrikshasana, the tree posture, on the other side.
वामोर्मूलदेशे च याम्यं पादं निधायतु.
Now bring the raised leg to the opposite hip. Join your hands together in Namaskara Mudra. Repeat Garudasana on the other side.
आसनमावक्षे येन ध्यानं स्थिरं भवेत्.
The next asana is Trikonasana. Now step one foot forward and the other one far back. Front toes pointing forward and the back toes facing sideways. Extend your arms out parallel to the ground and bend forward and down, placing one hand towards the foot. As you gaze up, visualize yourself as a triangle and perform the Mula Bandha in Trikonasana.
उत्तानपादं क्रौञ्चं च मरीचिं वीरभद्रकम्.
Now exchange the position of your feet, lean forward and down, repeating Trikonasana on the other side.
उत्तानपादं क्रौञ्चं च मरीचिं वीरभद्रकम्.
We move on to Nikuttaka Karana. As you stand in Arimandi, heels touching, toes pointing outwards and the knees bent, raise one heel off the ground and keep your hands in front of the heart center, palms facing each other. Now stomp the raised heel to the ground, raise the other heel up and exchange the position of your hands again and again. The next asana is Angushtasana. Now lower your body down onto the tips of the toes with the perineum placed onto the raised heels as you keep your knees lifted off the ground. Join together as you join your palms together in Namaskara Mudra in front of your heart center. Now visualize Swamiji in your inner space and start buzzing like a bee on the inhalation and exhalation in Brahmari Kumbhaka as you perform the Mula Bandha and internally chant the new japa Sada Shivoham.
कबन्धासनमित्याहुः गोरक्षासनमेव च.
From Angushtasana, extend one leg forward with the heel down, toes pointing up. Keep your fingertips touching the ground, palms facing forward in Vara Mudra as you visualize Swamiji in your inner space in Saurasana.
प्रसार्यैकं पादतलं संस्थाप्य त्वेकपादकम्.
From Saurasana, lean forward and down and hold onto the big toe of the front foot in Prana Mudra with index and middle finger. Hold the back heel with the other hand if you can and balance as you visualize Swamiji in your inner space.
स्थितौ पादमेकं प्रसार्य तत्पादाग्रं संसृश्य तत्करेण.
Now exchange the position of your feet, stretch the other leg forward as you keep the palms facing forward, fingers touching the ground. repeating Saurasana on the other side.
कार्यैकं पादतलं संस्थाप्य त्वेकपादकम्.
Hold on to the front big toe and the back heel. Repeat Vidunanasana on the other side.
गुल्फस्थितौ पादमेकं प्रसार्य तत्पादाग्रं संस्पृश्य तत्करेण.
Next up is Brahmajankushasana. With the knees raised off the ground, perineum on the raised heels. Keep a gap between the legs and place your hands on top of the knees. As you gaze in between the hands with the eyes wide open, unblinking in Shambhavi Mudra, actually gazing within, visualize Swamiji in your inner space and perform Jalandhara Bandha, the throat lock, and Mula Bandha, the root lock.
दो फणा पानी होय वैसे एडी दो गुदानी वैसे.
The next asana is Kapilasana. Now, place your knees on the ground, toes tucked, heels raised, sit down on the heels and place your hands on top of the knees. As you gaze through the nose, visualize yourself as Sage Kapila Muni and engage Uddiyana Bandha and Mula Bandha.
पगदली सिमट हरावे तिनकी माहिली को मिलावे.
The next asana is Bhadra Godakasana. As you maintain the same sitting posture, shift your gaze to the third eye, your visualization to Swamiji and the Bandha to the Mula Bandha.
दो पगदली संपुट करे कोरवारली भू परिधरे.
The next asana is Suryasana. Sit with your toes tucked, the perineum placed on top of the raised heels as you lift your knees off the ground and bring the thumbs and little fingers together in Padma Mudra, opening up the palms resembling a lotus flower. Raise your arms straight above your head and gaze in between the gap of the palms as you visualize Lord Surya in your inner space and perform Uddiyana Bandha and Mula Bandha.
एडी दो गुदा तरियाने फना पानी बैठक पुनिठाने.
The next asana is Mandukasana. Sit with the toes flat, the perineum on the heels. Keep your hands on top of the knees and lift your tongue up against the palate of the mouth in Manduki Mudra as you visualize yourself as a frog catching the nectar of immortality dripping from the Sahasrara chakra with your frog tongue. Gaze towards your third eye, breathe calmly through your nose in Sahadra Kumbhaka as you perform the Mula Bandha.
पादतलौ पृष्ठदेशे अंगुष्ठे द्वे च संस्पृशेत्.
Next up is Uttana Mandukasana. Maintain the same sitting posture, but place your hands behind your back, holding on to the opposite shoulders. Keep your elbows close to your head, gaze to your third eye, and visualize yourself as a frog as you keep your tongue in Manduki Mudra. Engage Uddiyana Bandha and Mula Bandha as you do so.
मंडूकासन मध्यस्थं कूर्पराभ्यां धृतं शिरः.
The next asana is Simhasana. Now cross your ankles and sit on the feet. Keep your knees wide, fingers on top of the knees. As you open your mouth wide, stick out your tongue, exhale forcefully as you visualize yourself as a lion. Gaze to the nose and perform the Mula Bandha.
दक्षिणं सव्यगुल्फेन दक्षिणेन तथेतरम्.
The next asana is Bhadrasana. Now sit with the heels under the perineum and keep your knees opened wide as you cross your hands behind your back and hold on to the big toes in Prana Mudra with index and middle finger. Apply Jalandhara Bandha and Mula Bandha. Gaze to the nose, visualize Swamiji in your inner space as you return to buzzing like a bee in Brahmari Kumbhaka.
गुल्फौ तु वृषणस्यादः विद्युत्क्रमेण समाहितः.
The next asana is Kaka Bhushandi Asana. Now squat, keep your feet flat on the ground and the knees opened wide as you bring your arms in and around the raised knees, interlacing the fingers behind your back in Parusha Mudra. Gaze to the nose as you visualize yourself as a crow and perform the Mula Bandha.
प्रथमे वैसकौकुटठाने दोबू हाथ पगमी च आने.
The next asana is Kani Pavasana. Now place your palms on the floor, shoulder width apart, and bring your knees onto the back of your arms towards your armpits as you lean forward and down. Lift the feet off the ground and balance on your arms, visualizing Swamiji in your inner space as you perform the Mula Bandha.
आसन को गुण आशीर्षिता होई तो आछी होई.
The next asana is Kapali Asana. We're going to enter an inverted posture. So if you have any spine or neck injuries, keep it slow with this asana. If you need, you can use a wall for support. Now, keep your hands on the ground, shoulder width apart, and place the crown of your head onto the ground as you bring your knees onto the elbows. Then align your hips and your shoulders, and then raise your legs up straight. Gaze to the nose, visualize Swamiji in your inner space, and perform the Mula Bandha.
शीश शीशा धरती तेगी पगदो भूमि लिवा ऊंचा करे.
Gently lower your back, legs down as you now twist your body to the side. Place your hands to the ground and lean your hip and your knee onto the elbows, extending the legs to the side. As you balance on your arms, gaze to your third eye, visualize yourself as a peacock. Exhale all the air from your lungs and hold your breath in the exhaled state in Rechaka Kumbhaka as you perform the Mula Bandha in Parshvamayurasana.
मयूरम दंडवत कुर्यान महायूरम दंड नामकम.
Now twist to the other direction. Balance on your arms. Extend your legs. Gaze up. Visualize yourself as a peacock. Repeat Parshvamayurasana on the other side.
मयूरम दंडवत कुर्यान महायूरम दंड नामकम.
The next asana is Bhairaganathasana. Now place your hands flat on the ground and step your feet back into the plank position as you then step one foot outside the respective shoulder and in between the two hands. Now gaze towards your third eye. Visualize yourself as Lord Kala Bhairava as you perform the Mula Bandha.
आसन को गुण बीती जाई.
Now step the front foot backwards and the other foot outside the shoulder in between the hands as you repeat Bhairaganathasana on the other side.
आसन को गुण बीती जाई.
The next asana is Unmukhapitasana. From Talakshvasana, the plank position, place your forearms on the ground and walk your feet slightly forward to raise your hips even higher. Then gaze to your third eye, visualize Swamiji in your inner space and perform the Mula Bandha.
भून्यस्तौ जानुनि हस्तौ चतुष्पदम वाङ्मुखम्.
The next asana is Vashishthasana. Now, from Talakshvasana, rotate your body and raise one arm off the ground, balancing on one hand, the hand beneath your shoulder, with the opposite hand extended up towards the sky. As you gaze up, visualize yourself as sage Vashishta as you perform the Mula Bandha.
ऊर्ध्वकुक्कुटवासिष्ठमरीचिहलमत्स्यकम्.
Now rotate your body in the opposite direction. Keep the other hand on the ground. Repeat Vashishthasana on the other side.
ऊर्ध्वकुक्कुटवासिष्ठमरीचिहलमत्स्यकम्.
Now come to a seated position with your legs extended forward. Heels down, toes pointing up as you place your palms underneath the buttocks, palms facing up. Keep the elbows close to your body, gaze to your nose. Tuck your chin to the chest, contract the perineal region as you Visualize yourself as Lord Hanuman. Internally chant the new japa Mahasada Shivoham.
दो करके उभय हथेली कोरवारली मैले भेली.
The next asana is Paschimottanasana. From the same position, lean forward and down and hold on to the big toes in Prana Mudra. Then bring your head towards the knees and the elbows outside of the legs as you visualize Swamiji in your inner space. Exhale and engage all three bandhas.
अनु परिललाटन्तु पश्चिमताणमुच्यते.
The next asana is Ugrasana. From the same posture, with the legs extended, interlace your fingers behind your head and lean forward and down by the strength of your core. Engage all three bandhas as you visualize Kali in your inner space.
स्वपाणिभ्यां दृढं धृत्वा जानुभरि शिरोऽन्यसेत्.
The next asana is Marichi Asana. With both legs extended, bring one heel towards your groin with the knee raised. Now bring one arm in and around the knee, interlace both hands behind your back as you bring your forehead down as low as you can, engaging the Mula Bandha as you visualize yourself as Sage Marichi.
उत्तानपादं क्रमञ्चं च मरीचिं वीरभद्रकम्.
The next asana is Mahamudrasana. Now drop the raised knee to the ground as you keep the heel pressing against the perineum. Lean forward and hold onto the front foot with both hands. As you exhale, gaze to the nose, visualize Swamiji in your inner space and engage all three bandhas in Mahamudra Bandha.
महामुद्रां प्रवक्ष्यामि तन्त्रेऽस्मिन् मम वल्लभे.
Now exchange the position of your feet. Stretch the other leg forward as you bring the opposite heel towards your groin with the knee raised. Bring the arm in and around the knee and repeat Marichi Asana on the other side.
उत्तानपादं क्रमञ्चं च मरीचिं वीरभद्रकम्.
Now drop the raised knee to the ground, lean forward, perform Mahamudra Bandha as you repeat Mahamudrasana on the other side.
महामुद्रां प्रवक्ष्यामि तन्त्रेऽस्मिन् मम वल्लभे.
The next asana is Bhadrasana too. As you sit and bring the soles of the feet together with the heels close to the perineum, keep your knees open wide, hold the feet firmly with both hands, maintain a straight spine and gaze to your third eye while visualizing Swamiji in your inner space.
भौतदर्शनस्यादः सीवन्त्याः पार्श्वयोः क्षिपेत्.
The next asana is Gvalipavasana. From Bhadrasana, extend your feet away from the body. Keep your toes together, the heels apart, knees open wide. As you place your hands on the respective knees, tuck your chin to the chest, contract the perineal region, and gaze to your nose while visualizing Swamiji in your inner space.
पूर्व चरपट चौक कख्यो सोजी वाही विधि जो कीजे सोई.
The next asana is Joni Asana. Now sit and keep the soles of the feet together and the heels close to the perineum. Visualize the Yoni Mandala, which is projected on the screen, the visual representation of Devi Paramashiva Shakti herself. Now hold onto the feet and lean forward and down as you place your forehead to the feet and gaze to the nose, performing the Mula Bandha in Joni Asana.
दो पगदली संपुट करे एड़ी मेड़ के ढिंग तरे.
Next up is Midaki Pavasana. Now sit and keep the heels together and the toes apart and the knees open wide. Lean forward and down as you extend your arms out to the side, placing the palms on the ground and your forehead on the ground behind the heels. Gaze to the nose, visualize Swamiji perform the Mula Bandha.
पूर्व विधि पर पगदली संपूर्ण शोल एड़ी मिली राशे.
The next asana is Siddha Samadhi Asana. Now sit, keep the toes together and the heels apart. Bring your arms below the shins and extend them out as you keep the palms facing up. Bring your forehead to the ground above your feet as you bring your toes towards your throat if you can. Gaze to the nose and visualize Lord Surya in your inner space as you perform the Mula Bandha.
दोबू पकदली संपट करे 16 मेढ़ आगा में धरे.
The next asana is Chinaki Pavasana. Now sit, keep the heels together, toes apart, hold the feet and open them up like a book as you press your elbows down on your thighs, pressing the knees down towards the ground. Gaze to the nose, visualize Swamiji in your inner space and perform the Mula Bandha.
दोबू पकागी एडी धरती मगिवा मेढ़ लगावे.
The next asana is Chadapata Chukasana. As you sit and bring the soles of the feet together with the heels at the perineum, place your hands on the knees and press the knees down gently. As you gaze towards your third eye, visualize Swamiji in your inner space and engage Uddiyana Bandha, the stomach lock, and Mula Bandha, the root lock, in Chadapata Chukasana.
दोबू पकदली संपुट धारे आगा ने कर जारे पसारे.
The next asana is Bhairavasana. Now sit and bring the soles of the feet together with the heels up and the toes down to the mat. Keep the knees on the ground, hands on top of the knees in Bindu Mudra with index and thumbs together. As you gaze towards your third eye, visualize yourself as Lord Kala Bhairava and perform Uddiyana Bandha and Mula Bandha.
गुल्फौ संपीड्य जान्योन्यं व्युत्क्रमेणोत्थितं शनैः.
The next asana is Samanasana. Now sit with one heel at the perineum and lift and hold the other foot, pulling the sole of the foot towards your chest. As you gaze to your third eye, perform the Mula Bandha and visualize Swamiji in your inner space.
समानासनमावक्षे सिद्धमन्त्रादि साधनात्.
Next up is Apanasana. Now sit and place one leg on top of the respective shoulder as you raise the other foot upwards and straight. Keep your hands on the ground to the sides for balance. As you gaze to your third eye, visualize Swamiji in your inner space and perform the Mula Bandha.
केवलं पादमेकञ्च स्कन्धे चारोप्य यत्नतः.
Now repeat Samanasana on the other side as you keep the opposite foot pressed against the perineum with the other foot pulled against the chest.
समानासनमावक्षे सिद्धमन्त्रादि साधनात्.
Now bring the other foot over top of the respective shoulder, extending the opposite leg up as you gaze to your third eye and visualize Swamiji in Apanasana on the other side.
केवलं पादमेकञ्च स्कन्धे चारोप्य यत्नतः.
Now stack your knees and keep your heels outside of the hips. As you place both hands on top of the knee, gaze towards the nose. Visualize the face of a cow in your inner space. As you start breathing in Siddhkari Kumbhaka, pressing your tongue against the palate of the mouth without touching the teeth, hissing through the teeth while inhaling. Engage the Mula Bandha and internally chant the new japa Om Nithyanandoham in Gomukhasana, the cow face posture.
सव्ये दक्षिणगुल्फं तु पृष्ठपार्श्वे नियोजयेत्.
From Gomukhasana, hold onto the big toes in Prana Mudra. Gaze towards the nose. Visualize yourself as Rishika Anasuya as you perform Uddiyana Bandha and Mula Bandha in Anasuyasana.
दक्षिण गोड़ों नीचे उठाने, बाबों तागे ऊपर आने.
Now interlace your fingers behind your back in Parashu Mudra and lean forward and down as you place your chin over top of the knee, the nose towards the ground. Gaze to the tip of the nose as you visualize yourself as a Rishika Anasuya in Anasuyasana 2.
जीमणा गोदा की संधि उपरिड़ा वागोड़ा की संधि.
Next up is Garudasana 2. Now sit on the ground with one heel pressed against the perineum, the top of the foot flat on the ground as you place the sole of the other foot flat on the ground in front with a knee raised towards your chest. Hands on top of the respective knees. As you gaze to the nose, visualize yourself as Lord Garuda with big wings on your back as you perform the Mula Bandha.
डाबो पगमोड़ी एडी माहिलो गुल्फा मूल द्वारणी चाहिए.
The next asana is Naradasana. Now raise your perineum onto the heel and interlace your fingers behind your neck. As you twist your elbows outside of the raised knee, gaze to your third eye, visualize yourself as Sage Narada as you perform the Mula Bandha.
पिष्टि जवाब पगदली केरी भूपरिता ही लगावे फेरी.
Next up is Matsya Pitakasana. Now place one foot on top of the opposite thigh as you wrap the respective arm around the leg and hold onto the shin as you hold onto the big toe of that foot with the other hand in Prana Mudra. Gaze to the nose, visualize Matsya, the fish avatar of Lord Vishnu, as you perform the Mula Bandha and still breathe in Siddhkari Kumbhaka, hissing through your teeth without touching the teeth with your tongue.
वामेन वामांगुष्टंतो गृहीतं मत्स्य पीठकम्.
Now stack your knees again, this time with the other leg over top. As you interlace your fingers, place them on the knee and visualize the face of a cow in Gomukhasana on the other side.
ये दक्षिण गुल्फं तो पृष्ठपार्श्वे नियोजयेत्.
Now hold onto the big toes, engage Uddiyana Bandha and Mula Bandha and visualize yourself as a Rishika Anasuya in Anasuyasana on the other side.
दक्षिण गोड़ों नीचे उठाने वावों तागे ऊपर आने.
Now gaze to the nose, interlace the fingers behind your back and lean forward and down as you repeat Anasuyasana 2 on the other side.
जीवना गोदा की संधि उपरिड़ा वागोड़ा की संधि.
Next up is Garudasana 2. On the other side, press the perineum with the other heel. Keep the opposite knee raised against the chest. Visualize yourself as Lord Garuda.
डाबो पगमोड़ी एडी माहिलो गुल्फा मूल द्वारणी चाहिए.
Now raise the perineum onto the heel. Interlace your fingers behind your neck. Twist your elbows outside of the raised knee as you repeat Naradasana on the other side.
पिष्टि जवाब पगदली केरी भूपरिता ही लगावे फेरी.
Now repeat Matsya Pitakasana on the other side. Place the other foot on top of the opposite thigh. Hold on to the shin and the big toe of that foot as you visualize Matsya, the fish avatar of Lord Vishnu.
वामेन वामांगुष्टंतो गृहीतं मत्स्य पीठकम्.
The next asana is Matsyendrasana. Now place one foot on top of the opposite thigh and place the other foot flat on the ground. Stack it over your knee if you can. Then twist one elbow outside of the raised knee. Hold on to your neck with a raised hand as you place the other hand on the ground behind you, twisting your body. As you gaze to your third eye, visualize Sage Matsyendranath, the master of Hatha Yoga, as you perform the Mula Bandha.
उदरं पश्चिमाभासं कृत्वा तिष्ठति यत्ततः.
From Matsyendrasana, extend the front arm down to the foot. Hold onto the big toe in Prana Mudra if you can. As you hold the opposite ear with your hand and visualize yourself as a camel in Kupasana.
आसन को गुण झोलो जाए.
Now, hold on to the front foot and place the back hand down to the ground. As you twist your body even further, gaze to your third eye and visualize Sage Matsyendrasana and Matsyendrasana too.
मत्स्येन्द्रपीडं जठर प्रदीप्तिं प्रचण्ड रुक्मण्डल खण्डनास्त्रम्.
Now exchange the position of your feet. Place the other foot on top of the opposite thigh. Raise the knee. Twist your elbow outside of the knee. Hold on to your neck. As you repeat Matsyendrasana on the other side.
उदरं पश्चिमाभासं कृत्वा तिष्ठति यत्नतः.
Now hold on to the front foot and the back ear. Twist back, gaze up, visualize yourself as a camel in Kupasana on the other side.
आसन को गुण झोलो जाए.
Now place the back hand down to the ground as you still hold onto the foot. Twist your body even further as you repeat Matsyendrasana 2 on the other side.
मत्स्येन्द्रपीडं जठर प्रदीप्तिं प्रचण्ड रुक्मण्डल खण्डनास्त्रम्.
Now place your feet on top of the opposite thighs as we enter Padmasana. Place your hands on the respective knees, palms facing down. Engage all three bandhas, gaze to the nose, and breathe in Sitali Kumbhaka, pressing your tongue against the back of the teeth this time and hissing through the teeth while inhaling as you visualize yourself as Lord Shiva in Padmasana.
आसनं द्विविधं प्रोक्तं पद्मं वज्रासनं तथा.
Now remain seated in Padmasana. As you cross your arms before your body, hold onto the big toes in Prana Mudra. Gaze to the nose and visualize yourself as Goddess Parvati, the consort of Shiva. As you keep breathing in Sitali Kumbhaka and perform the Mula Bandha, as you internally chant the japa Om Nithyananda Mahasada Shivoham in Padmasana too.
उत्तानौ चरणौ कृत्वा गुरुसंस्थौ प्रयत्नतः.
The next asana is Kukkutasana. From Padmasana, bring your hands in between the legs and place them flat on the ground. As you raise your body off the mat, visualize yourself as a rooster and perform the Mula Bandha. Calmly breathe through your nose in Sahadra Kumbhaka.
पद्मासनं स संस्थाप्य नान्वोरन्तरे करौ.
Next up is Bandha Keki Asana. From Padmasana, rise up onto the knees and place your hands flat on the ground with the fingers pointing towards your body. Then bring your elbows against your navel region and lean forward and down as you lift your knees off the ground and balance, extending the knees back as you visualize Swamiji in your inner space.
धरामोष्टभ्यकरद्वयेन तत्कोर्परिस्थापिता नाभिपार्श्वः.
The next asana is Mayurasana. Now, from the kneeling position, place your hands on the mat, fingers pointing backwards. Lean your navel onto the elbows until you find balance, then raise your feet up off the mat. Keep as straight as possible as you visualize yourself as a peacock, performing the Mula Bandha in Mayurasana.
अथ वक्षे महादेव मयूरासनमुत्तमम्.
Now lower your body down onto the mat as you keep the toes pointing outwards with the hands interlocked behind your neck in Parasha Mudra, visualizing yourself as a crocodile and performing the Mula Bandha in Makarasana.
अध्यासशेते हृदयं निधाय भूमौ च पादौ च प्रसार्यमानो
The next asana is Shalabhasana. Laying on your stomach with the hands by the shoulders, raise your entire legs up off the ground, including your thighs, as you visualize yourself as a locust. Perform the Mula Bandha.
अध्यासशेते करयुग्मो वक्षो भूमिमौष्टभ्यकरयोस्तलाभ्याम्
Next up is Ushtrasana. Now hold onto the feet with your hands as you lay on your belly and pull them outside of the hip towards the ground as much as you can. As you visualize yourself as a camel, perform the Mula Bandha.
अध्यासशेते पदयुग्मं व्यस्तं पृष्ठे निधाय विधृतं कराभ्याम्
The next asana is Dhanurasana. Holding on to the feet, kick your legs back and lift your upper body up off the mat as you gaze up towards your third eye, visualizing yourself as Pinaka, Lord Shiva's bow, as you perform the Mula Bandha.
कार्यपादौ भुविदण्डरूपौ करौ च पृष्ठे धृतपादयुग्मम्
The next asana is Bhagasana. As you sit in a kneeling posture with the tops of the feet flat on the mat, sit in between the heels as your toes touch behind your body. Keep your hands on top of the knees, gaze towards your third eye. Visualize Swamiji in your inner space and perform the Mula Bandha as you internally chant the new japa Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
उल्टा मोड़ी पाव दो वैसे बहुरो जुगति करे एक ऐसे
We are setting up for the next inverted posture. So perform this asana in front of the wall if you need support. Now, from a kneeling posture, place your elbows on the ground, shoulder width apart, as you interlace your fingers and bring the crown of your head onto the ground, supporting your head with your hands as you walk your feet forward until your hips align with the shoulders, and then raise your feet off the ground as you pull your knees in towards your chest. Try to touch your chin with your knees. As you squeeze your body, gaze to the nose, visualize Swamiji in your inner space and perform the Mula Bandha in Gohi Asana.
दो हाथ की कहुनी जोजी पुनिह कलाई जाने दोई
From Gohi Asana, extend your legs up straight into Shirshasana. Gaze to the nose, visualize Swamiji in your inner space and perform the Mula Bandha.
परितं मण्डलं च द्विधैव विदितं हिनः
Gently lower your legs back down and come to a seated posture as we prepare to enter a sequence of rapid exhalations in Bastrika Kumbhaka, where you pull the abdomen in rapidly, pushing the air out of your lungs without actively inhaling. Let the air flow into your lungs by the automatic exhalation, and then sit with your hands behind calves, stretch your legs up and bring your forehead to the knees, visualizing Swamiji in your inner space.
दो हाथ पग बाहर आने घोड़ा तरे काकसी ठाने
Extend your legs up straight at a 45-degree angle and place your hands at the opposite shoulders behind your back. Gaze to your third eye. Visualize yourself as a mace as you keep breathing in Bastrika Kumbhaka.
उत्तानं शयनं कृत्वा पादौ मिलित्वा प्रसार्य
Next up is Naukasana. With your legs raised up at a 45-degree angle, Keep your arms stretched out in front, parallel to the ground, as you gaze through your third eye and visualize yourself as a boat.
उत्तानशयनं कोर्पराभ्यां भूमिमवष्टभ्याम्.
Now pull the soles of your feet towards your chest as you scoop your hands beneath. Keep breathing in Bhastika Kumbhaka as you gaze to the nose and visualize yourself as Lord Rudra in Rudrasana.
पगतली संपूट करी हाथस्य उपक ऊंचाई.
Now breathe calmly. Lay on your back with the feet flat, the knees raised off the ground, with the hands on the ground, fingertips just touching your feet. As you push your hips up off the mat, contract the perineal region, tuck your chin to the chest, gaze to the nose, visualize Swamiji in your inner space and perform the Murcha Kumbhaka, where you gently push the air out of the throat lock as you keep engaging the Jalandhara Bandha while exhaling in Unmukha Pitasana too.
ऊर्ध्वे च जानुनी कृत्वा शवित्वोर्ध्वमुखं यथा.
Now gently lower your entire body down to the mat. Keep your hands at the side of your hips, palms facing up. Unclutch from any micro movement of your body and mind. Forcefully pull the Kundalini Shakti up along your spine in Shakti Chalan Mudra. Relax. Visualize your body is dead, and Swamiji, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, is liberating you as you internally chant the japa Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
उत्तानं शववद्भूमौ शयनं तु शवासनं. शवासनं श्रान्तिहरं चित्तविश्रान्तिकारकम्.
Now slowly return to your physical body. Start to wiggle your fingers and toes, your wrists and your ankles, your elbows and your knees. As you pull your knees up towards your chest, rock your body from side to side, and slowly return to a comfortable seated position. Congratulations, you completed the Pratama Vinyasa Krama, the 108 asana sequence as revealed by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. With this, we conclude today's Nithyananda Yoga session. We would like to remind all the viewers that Paramashivoham Level 3 is going on. By the grace and the infinite compassion of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, the program is conducted free of cost instead of $21,000. So we advise all of you to join the program for tomorrow's session, which is day 4. Now let us conclude this yoga session with the Purna Mantra. Sit straight with your head, neck and spine in a straight line. Hands in Namaskara Mudra in front of your heart center. Close your eyes, take a deep breath. Visualize Swamiji in your inner space as we chant the Purna Mantra.
Om पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ओम शांति शांति शांति। हरि ओम तत्सत्। सर्वं भगवत् श्री नित्यानंद परमशिव पादुकार्पणमस्तु। ओम नित्यानंदम।
Thank you all. Nithyanandam.
I bless you all. Let you all open all your three eyes and manifest the powers of Mahasadashiva. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham.